Maverick traders. Welcome out to your currency recap for July 21st. Corey here with you. We're going to take you through meaningful news, what's moving the markets. There's discussions about the Fed and whether Powell will step down or be fired. Plenty to talk about in currencies and crypto and Forex pairs. Not a ton of velocity, but always opportunity.
All trades and analysis in this video are intended for professional traders only. This content does not constitute financial advice and is for educational purposes. This video is being released after a short delay due to Compliance Department review. Maverick members receive this content immediately as part of their daily trading resources. If you're ready to level up, consider joining Maverick Currencies. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits. You bring the skill, we provide the backing. Let's get into today's market recap and see how the pros are trading the currency markets.
So as we look at today and opportunities that are out there, right now the news is really in political land. So Trump media has been building a $2 billion Bitcoin hoard. Crypto is swelling. It's helping the president's net worth. They've certainly wrapped their arms around crypto and embraced it. And that has helped the entire crypto space. XRP and all these different cryptos have been surging higher as the expectations are that that's going to continue. And where President Trump is making money, he's likely to continue to embrace. Besant calls for a review of the entire Federal Reserve. There's been rumors circulating. Will the Fed chair step down? Will he be fired? How will this progress? But Treasury Secretary Besant basically saying that, well, we've got to do a review. When people are not doing their best, there is reason to check in and see why that's not happening. And a lot of people have not been happy with the Fed. So as we look at currencies, Japanese yen really had a nice day, up just shy of 1%. US dollar down. Not a lot of movement elsewhere, and even those moves didn't really create big up or downward velocity opportunities. If we turn to other markets, again, it was a little bit quieter. Gold had a nice day, up 1.5. Crypto down. Bitcoin Cash was the big underperformer there in crypto land. So as we look at crypto, down 5.3 in Bitcoin Cash. Everything else relatively stable. Now, equity markets have been surging higher. I've been traveling with my family. When my daughter turned 18 this past week, we had promised them that when they turned 18, we'd take a family trip to a location of their choosing. Went to Paris, France. Left with an upward trend and a bullish market. We said, hey, it's just solid. Everything's probably still status quo. And sure enough, even today, making new highs yet again. So this line represents the prior all-time highs, and you can see since we've moved through that, it's just been progressing lower left to upper right, upward trending. Equity markets still in a risk-on environment. For the rest of this week, you can see on the schedule, we've got the ECB meeting out on Thursday morning. That seems likely to be the impactful event. So if you're trading euros, they're not expected to change rates in any way, but the expectations are that they're going to, while they leave rates unchanged, they might change a little bit in their statement. They might give some inkling as to what their next move will be. Here in the U.S., we're expecting more interest rate cuts are not too far away. Now, you can notice from this velocity, we typically say anything within that +1 to -1 is just not all that exciting. This is the area where there's not really a strong enough move to be excited about it. We've got a couple of these over on the +1 that could progress over there to the +2 and be ready for a trade. But we want to trade +2, +3s. We want to trade -2, -3s. We don't care if it's long or short. We simply want to trade things that have some momentum. In currencies, the US dollar is the closest to being more bearish. On the bullish side, you have a few candidates. We'll look at a couple of charts here and see what's most ready for a possible trade. Starting with the US dollar, Now, is this a strong velocity currency? No, not really. You can see we're on a sell signal. We're starting to get some downward slope and downward trend. So what's the problem? Well, you've got support all underneath here. You can see even below that. So we had been in a pretty nice upward trend in US dollar pairs. And even as it moves lower, it's not really clear of a lot of that support underneath. So my approach to that would be to more play the bounce and then re-emergence of the downside move. Play less breakdown and more rollovers would be the idea. So when you're looking at your US dollar pairs, look for things where there's a little bit of a short the US dollar on a bit of a bounce. What might that be against? Well, the euro, while it's not in a super strong upward trend, it's about as good a currency as you can potentially find out there. If we were to drag a line across the prior resistance, we seem to be in the breakout mode. And usually when you have a breakout, you want to see a bigger expanded range candle. Look at how big the size. You want to see buying pressure. You want to see upward momentum. So we check our boxes. Are we upward sloping in the RSI and it's clear of 50? Yes. It's in this healthier zone. We just turned into a buy signal and just starting to get that upward lift. So we also know the ECB is announcing their rate statement this week. That's not until Thursday. I think euro is the next trade on the long side, would be my area of focus. Heck, it might be euro USD. You'd buy euro USD as a trade. That would get you long the euro, which looks better, and that would get you short the US dollar, which looks worse. That would be a most obvious candidate with where we're at right now. As I mentioned, in crypto, there's not a lot going on, but Bitcoin Cash is perhaps the one most ready and close to an opportunity. You can see a possible, a possible trend line here that's just starting to be broken. So as we drag a trend line across, we're just at that point where perhaps we're just starting that breakdown phase. Now again, it has some of the similar problems we talked about with the others. There's a lot of support underneath. You can see under here, because it had been one of the stronger areas of the market. We're starting to roll over a little bit, but we haven't really turned into a sell signal. We're just getting that downward slope and downward rollover. So it's a bit too early to call any of these cryptocurrencies a good short by any means, but Bitcoin Cash could be on the cusp of that in the near future. I don't think it's actionable yet, but that's the market we have in front of us. The market we have in front of us lacks velocity in both currencies and crypto at the moment. We'll continue to look for those areas of strength or weakness. My best bet is that euro is going to emerge as a stronger currency. US dollar is going to emerge as a little bit weaker currency and present the next opportunity. I hope you enjoyed today's currency recap. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.